Welcome back. In this video, we cover best practice assessment. Let's get started. Before enabling BPA, there are two important requirements. First is the Log Analytics workspace. This workspace acts as a central hub for collecting and analyzing logs for your servers. It's part of Azure Monitor and lets you run queries, create dashboards, and integrate with other Azure services. For BPA, the workspace stores assessment results and powers reporting. If you don't have one yet, you can create it in Azure Portal under Log Analytics workspace. Let's see a quick demo on how to create a Log Analytics workspace. We're back to the portal. Click at the Log Analytics workspace icon if it is displayed on your Azure services, or type Log Analytics workspace at the search bar. With the entry made at the search bar, you can see the icon Log Analytics workspace displayed right here. So let's click on it. When the page opens, we need to click at the Create button. And now we need to populate the fields to define our Log Analytics workspace. And we go to the next tab, which is tags. If there are any tags that you want to populate, you just create them here. And we go to the next tab, which is Review and Create. In the Review and Create, it validates that we can create the Log Analytics, and the last step would be clicking on Create. But I will skip the creation as I already have one Log Analytics that I'm using for my BPA. Let me cancel this out and go back to the Log Analytics workspace blade. And over here you can see the two Log Analytics that I have. I'll be using the ArcBox for our demo. The second requirement is the license type required to run BPA. BPA requires that your SQL Server license to be one of the listed options: license with Software Assurance, SQL subscription, or Azure PayGo. For illustration purposes, I took a screenshot of the BPA blade when the SQL license for this server wasn't yet set for Arc. As you can see, the highlighted disclaimer mentions about the license required. Let's click on Change the License Type to define the license for Arc. We can see on this snapshot that both instances on this server are running Enterprise Edition, which qualifies for one of the criteria to run BPA. Let's scroll down the page to verify the setting for license type. At that time, the license type for this server hasn't been specified yet. Let's select License with Software Assurance. And now let's hit Save. After hitting Save, Arc will confirm the operation by displaying a notification. Here's how to enable in 5 steps. First step, we need to go to the Arc portal, expand the Data Services left menu. From that, we select the SQL Server instance and click on the instance to enable. Then, once you select the instance level, we expand the Settings menu and click on the Best Practice Assessment. If necessary, we change the license type on that instance. Then we select the Log Analytics workspace that will be used to store the BPA, and we click on Enable Assessment. Last step is to click on the configuration at the toolbar so we can set the schedule for repeated occurrences of the BPA. Let's see how it's done on the actual portal. We are back to the portal. Let's go to the Azure Arc, expanding the data services on the left bar. Click on SQL Server Instances. We select the instance we're going to be working. We can collapse this menu. At the instance level, we go to the Settings menu and click on Best Practice Assessment. Over here, we select the Log Analytics workspace and we click Enable. And we have the confirmation the Best Practice Assessment has been requested. We can see the deployment is in progress. This will take some time, and I'll come back to the video shortly. We can take a look at the notifications, and we can see the deployment has been successful. We can dismiss all, and let's now run one assessment. And let's now configure the assessment. By going to the toolbar, we can configure, and we can select the recurrence of this assessment. So you can choose to do on a monthly, the first Monday of the month, or you can do on a weekly basis. So let me do this every Sunday. And I'll do at noon. And I'll click on Schedule Assessment. So the next occurrence will be coming Sunday. So we see the confirmation that we have requested the configuration. We can see now the scheduling has taken effect. And we have the next execution of BPA scheduled for November the 2nd at 5 p.m. UTC, which is noon Eastern Time. Let's now run an assessment. The request has been made. This is going to take some time. Closing that notification and coming back to the canvas. The on-demand request shows up at the list of results as in progress. I will pause for a few moments until the on-demand assessment completes and we will review the results. Now, a few minutes later, the assessment has completed and we can click on it to see details. As we click on the assessment, it loads into the assessment details. We can see that there were 396 tests executed on that assessment, out of which 369 passed. The remaining ones resulted in 12 medium issues, 10 low issues, and 5 informational. And we have the distribution by category: administration, general, system, and application. In the bottom part of the assessment, we can see all items or all issues that brought by the assessment. So we can click on any of these items to get the details. So we can see here, let's select DBCC Performance Data Integrity. When I click on that item, it will filter all the issues related to DBCC Performance and Data Integrity. And what it's saying to us is that all of these databases have not run DBCC check. So if I'm new DBA and I don't know what DBCC check is, I can click on this message on the hyperlink and I can see the details of the information and the description of the DBCC. And if I want to get further help, I can click on the hyperlink to see that particular detail. When I open that hyperlink, I can see all the information related to DBCC CheckDB. Let's go back to the assessment and let's close this tab with the details. Back on the report, I can click on another issue that will load all the index fragmentation that we have. I can click on this ellipsis and you can see that I can export the results to a CSV file. I can change the filters, let's say for severity. I can select a severity that I found I need to work on. So if I click on medium, this will list me all the items or the issues there are of medium in severity. Here we have the list, and again I can export to CSV. You can click also on these donuts. So if I want to see only the medium issues, or if I want to see medium issues for administration purposes. And to remove the filter, you basically go back and click again on the same item. Let's scroll to the top, and you can switch from this report to another one, basically changing the drop-down menu option if there was another report. Another nice feature at this report is that you can see here I have selected all issues, or you can click on the new issues. There are the issues that appear between the last execution and the current execution. So we can see that we have a total of 131 items, and we can see the same count. Also, if from the previous execution to the next execution I have resolved any issues, they will show up here. As this is the first one, there is nothing to see. And this will show also some summary or insights that you need to consider. And thanks for watching.